Dear students, today let us discuss about the comparative anatomy of respiratory system in vertebrates. Part 1, which includes the comparative account of fishes and amphibians. Respiration is a process involving exchange of gases in an organism and its surroundings. In invertebrates, from protozoa to annelid, exchange of gases occur by general body surface without any specialized respiratory structures, whereas in vertebrates, pharyngeal gills in aquatic and lungs in the terrestrial animals are variously modified. In the diagram, you can see the structure of lungs of various animals or vertebrates which are so different from each other. The pharyngeal gill clips. In all chordates at some stage of their life cycle, a series of paired lateral gill clefts or gill slits perforate the pharyngeal wall. These gill slits are ectodermal in origin. In protochordates and lower vertebrates, they are functional throughout their life since they have gills as respiratory organs, while in higher vertebrates they disappear. The main function is they form a passage of water from pharynx to outside, thus bathing the gills for respiration. Their secondary function is in filter feeding mechanism by retaining food particles in the pharynx and by passing them into the digestive system. Now, let us discuss about the respiratory system in fishes, for example, Scalidon. Nostril of fishes are only olfaction in function. Cartilaginous fishes have most primitive type of gill system with 5 pairs of gill clefts having gills. The pharynx is broad, perforated on either side by 5 pairs of gill slits and a small opening called spiracle or false gills present just in front of the hyoid arch, closed externally in shark. The first embryonic arch, mandibular, lies between the mouth and the spiracle. The second hyoid arch lies between the spiracle and the first gill slit, and successive gill arches are first, second, third, and fourth branchial arches. The arch supporting the first gill slit, that is the hyoid arch, is described as hemi or demi branch gill, and the arches supporting second, third, and fourth gill slits are described as holobranch or lamellibranch gills, and the last arch supporting the fifth gill slit is described as an A-branch gill. The hemibranch gill is one having just one gill lamellae, that is post-traumatic or demibranch seen in shark, which is hyoid gill or posterior demi or hemibranch gill. A holobranch gill has two gill lamellae, one on either side of the septum. Now let us see the gills in teleost. In brief, 4 pairs of gill arches are present, and gills are described as filiform or pectinate type of gills. A pectinate type of gill has all structures similar to holobranch except that the septa are bony and are highly reduced, and the lamellae on both sides are free flaps. The terminal mouth has internally a pair of oval valves which are absent in sharks. In addition to gills, many teleosts possess additional accessory organs of respiration which enable the fishes to live outside water to take short excursions on land. Like in Anabas, there is a labyrinthine, Clarius has dendritic or arborescent, and Sacobranchus has the tubular air sac. All teleosts have swim bladders which arise dorsal to esophagus behind the pharynx, which are also highly vascularized. Now let us discuss about the respiratory organs in amphibians. All amphibians breathe by means of skin. Cutaneous respiration, which occurs around 35%, both in larval and adults. While in adults, it is by lungs, that is pulmonary respiration, which occurs around 64%, and buccopharyngeal respiration around 1%. In amphibians, three types of respirations occur: pulmonary respiration, buccopharyngeal respiration, and cutaneous respiration. Cutaneous respiration is a very simple type of respiration which occurs through general body surface. In the diagram, you can see the oxygen which enters into the skin and the carbon dioxide which comes out of the skin. So, this occurs through general body surface. Second, it is the buccopharyngeal respiration. The buccopharyngeal respiration, which occurs around 1%, exchange of gases occurs through the lining of buccopharyngeal cavity. It is kept moist and richly supplied with blood vessels. It is brought about by lowering and raising the floor of the buccal cavity, that is around 100 times per minute. The mouth and glottis are kept closed during this process. Air enters into the buccal cavity by external nostrils when the floor is lowered and then expelled out through nostrils by raising the buccal floor. Now, let us see how pulmonary respiration occurs. Pulmonary respiration. Lungs, laryngotracheal chamber, and the buccal cavity are the organs of respiration. Lungs in tetrapods develop as paired pouches from pharynx behind the last gill pouch. The lungs join to a ventral median depression in the floor called laryngotracheal groove leading into lungs. The opening of laryngotracheal chamber is called glottis. This chamber is supported by cartilage, that is arytenoid cartilage on either side of the glottis and a cricoid cartilage above the arytenoids. The vocal cords are seen inner to arytenoids which produce sound on vibration. In section, amphibian lung is a simple sac-like with a central cavity which is lined by a honeycomb-like vesicles or infundibulum separated from each other by primary trabeculae projecting from the lung wall. Infundibulum open into the central cavity. The primary trabeculae are thrown into folds on the secondary trabeculae representing the early formation of alveoli. Thank you, students.